Hello all. I've decided to come up to the road called Jack Martin Way. It's basically where the pensions office is. I just want to show you basically a couple of roads that lead to nowhere. So you come in off the A90 and you basically finish on the south of this road, and that's up the north side, the Jack Martin Way pensions office. It's not called the social care or something, but yeah, it's quite unusual really, because they've got two roads. This road here comes to a circle, as I'll show you later on in the video, and then it's got a road that continues on, that just leads, well, a good kilometre down in the east direction, and it just comes to a dead end. Yeah, it's been like that. It's got lampposts and everything. It's all ready for opening, but it's never opened. It's been like that for years. Strange. And I've got another one now that's been there for a long time. In fact, that is another subject. I'll get onto that. It's quite unusual actually, because I was here just last week checking out something. I was actually checking out a road that, when I looked at the road map, the Dundee road map, I was never on it before. But then I looked at it and it was on this map. So I decided, right, I'm going to drive to here to have a look at it, actually, you know, see it firsthand. I mean, I've driven this route, the bus route, the 32A, comes up this way, and I've driven the bus along this road, and the circulars as well come up here, the 9s and the 10s. And I've seen it. I've seen this quite a few times, and I do not remember ever seeing this other road. You know, it's quite, it's quite unusual. There is a phenomena called it's called the Mandela effect. Now, it's, to put it simply, I would recommend, if you've got access to online, is to Google it up. Google up Mandela effect, and that will give you a much better in-depth explanation of what it actually means, and you can make your own mind up on, you know, have your own view on it. But don't just settle for one video. Go online and get lots of research into it. It's dubbed the Mandela effect. Now, I didn't call it that. That's what they call it. But in a nutshell, it's basically where millions of people remembered. I don't know much about the history on this, but this is just how it was called, the Mandela effect. Thousands of people remember Nelson Mandela dying in the 80s, and there was a book and everything written about it, an article and everything. But he didn't die till 2013, and that's just like a very broad description of it. It's far too long to explain what it means, but so I mean, if you want to learn what it means, I would recommend just go online and Google up the Mandela effect, and don't just take the first article about it. Go and research it. Go and do lots of searches about it, so you can come to your own conclusion on it. In fact, test your own knowledge up, because there are hundreds of examples of Mandela effects online, and I can tell you firsthand that I believe in it, because I've experienced it. Not the ones that are online, although I do experience those as well. I've experienced my own personal ones, and I do believe in the so-called term of well, they call it the supernatural. It's actually just well, I can't explain what it is, but I say that it could be an expansion of our consciousness. But yeah, I do believe in it anyway, the supernuts, because I've experienced it firsthand, my experience of it. So I know what I'm talking. I know that I've experienced. I know what I've experienced, and the Mandela effect is basically what they call the Mandela effect. It's the phenomenon. People dismiss it as false memory, but anyway, I'm kind of going on a bit about it. It's a different subject to what I hear, although it's kind of part and parcel with it as well, because there is such a thing as synchronicity. It's more broadly known as coincidence. To put it in easy way, in a nutshell, basically I was here last week, looking at this road that I haven't seen before. I've got a map on the wall in my house, and I was looking at it, and I saw, I've never seen this road here before, so I decided to come up and have a look, and I don't really remember it. It just kind of like, it's always been there, apparently. So, I done a video just not long ago about the Finty Nursery, and interestingly enough, I got like suggestions to come up to this road to do a video on this road. But it's just such a mega coincidence or synchronicity that would happen, because they're totally unrelated. So I got suggestions on this to come up here to do a video on this road, and I was up here a week before. I only got this suggestions just very recently. It was after I'd been here last week, and that the coincidence there is just it's unbelievable. But I'm going to basically get the camera turned around, and I'm going to video the roads that lead to nowhere. So I can't understand why they've built. I mean, there's lots of things that are quite bizarre, you know. But this, these roads basically are just, they're all ready to drive on, but they've never actually saw any traffic, and they just basically lead to nowhere. I can't understand that. But I'll get out the car and I'll show you the roads that I'm talking about, and I'll show you on the map exactly where I am. But yeah, the Mandela effect is it's a subject in its own right. You'd have to, if you're interested and if you've experienced it. I didn't name it the Mandela effect. You could call it really what you like. It's a phenomenon where, in a nutshell, they could say that history has changed. You know, just to put it in a nutshell. But I'm not going to put you off by my explanation for it. If you're interested, research what online has to say about it. But don't take the first article. Do a bit of research. You don't have to do a lot of it. Make your own mind up about it. And you'll get an idea what I'm referring to when I say the Mandela effect. And I do believe in a phenomena that mimics what they call the Mandela effect, because I've experienced it myself firsthand. And this is just one example, the road. I mean, I've got quite a lot of examples firsthand, my own personal ones that I've experienced. And the ones online as well, or just, I could relate to quite a lot of them as well also. But I'll save that subject for another video, because it's enormous. I mean, if you don't understand what it means, you just won't grasp what you know. You'll probably just, you'll pick it up. You'll just not be interested, and you'll just dismiss it. So I'm not going to explain my version of it. I'd rather you do your own research into it. There's tons and tons of stuff online. You just type in the Mandela effect and you'll get a whole load of stuff online, and see if you could test yourself, see if you could relate to it. And, you know, but I've had other suggestions as well, that there's lots of unusual like is it wild cats or animals and stuff that go about. I haven't saw that myself personally, but that's other people's experiences that they've or stories that they've heard of. That there's like sort of in the Tarzan Island area, I've heard a report that, or a suggestion that there could be like, you know, wild cats or some sort of animals that go about there, but at night and that, I guess. If they've allegedly been spotted. Now, I haven't saw that personally, but I've got an open mind. So, I'm kind of going on a bit. That's right. I'm going to get this camera turned round and I'm going to film the roads that lead to nowhere and just see what you think. Right. Thanks for listening. Right. Before I go out the car and actually walk these roads and film it while I'm doing so, I'll show you the map on how to get here if you don't know how to get here. So it's in Dundee. So if you're just coming out of Dundee, you're heading onto the A90, but it's right on the outskirts of Dundee. It's basically the last circle before you leave Dundee. There's this road here, and basically this leads to Jack Martin Way. I don't actually have a Dundee map with me just now in the car. I've got this main road map, but this is the best I could do to show you how to get to Jack Martin Way. Yeah, so it's just, I mean, it doesn't really show the road, but it's just there. You're going up the A90 heading for Aberdeen. That's A90 going for Aberdeen. And you're just going through the circles. You've got this last circle here. Once you've went through this circle, you're on the road to, you're actually left and you're on the road, but you're not going up there, you're just turning right. And it's a dead end road. The pension office is in a bit there, and these roads, it isn't shown on this map, but the roads are just in that area there. And that's Fintry Housing Scheme and Whitfield Housing Scheme, which is, so basically that is looking east. That's the circle that the buses go along. So we just basically, Fintry is just running along that direction, south. That's the roundabout, but I'll get out and I'll film all that for you. The pension office is back there, maybe not get that very well on the camera, but yeah, so hope you can find it if you're wanting to come up and have a look for yourselves. Okay, I'll go and start filming. Okay. That was just a 32A doing its turn at the circle there. I've driven that route quite a few times. Yep, just thought I'd add that onto the video. So as I say, I've driven this road and I do not remember seeing that road on the left. So just thought I'd add on. Right, so I'm at the car. Just wanted to point something out while in here. Remember I was on about the Mandela effect. Well, you'll not forget the Mandela effect. Well, this was this Clever House social work offices. For me, it was always remembered as the pensions office. I mean, you correct me if I'm wrong in the comments or what, but it was always referred to as the pensions office. I don't ever remember it ever being referred to as the Clever House social work offices. Children's Services, Community Care Service. I never remembered it being referred to as that. It was always referred to as the pensions office. It's even got it on the timetable as well. The pensions office. It's got it on the running boards for the buses. When we drive the buses, we've got running boards that we follow, and on the running board it's got pensions office written on it. And yet it's clearly marked here Clever House social work offices. So that's quite Quite strange, that one. But and I am a true believer in the phenomena because I've experienced many examples firsthand. Right, so I'm just walking up towards the circle where the roads are at a dead end. I'm sure my windows are up, because I heard thunder earlier, so I didn't want to be getting my car soaked. Yeah, so the bus just basically comes up, turns around the circle, and this road coming up on the left hand exit here. You see, it's kind of like when a Mandela effect. There's the sort of phenomena that goes with it, the Mandela effect residue. That means where there's still evidence of an original as to how it was. Like, for example, it's still referred to as the pensions office on certain things, but yet it's got marked clearly the social work offices. I mean, I'll have to make a video to explain. If you do your research on the Mandela, if you're interested and you do your research on, or if you choose to go online to do your research, that is, you'll get the online version of what is explaining about the Mandela effect, and you'll also get the explanations of the Mandela effect residue, which is all part and parcel of the thing. I was just talking about the buses. Well, there's the 9 circular that comes up here as well. The driver will ken me, no doubt. Yeah, so I just with my fellow driver there. That's the Emerald bus, the Enviro 400, Alexander bodied. Get the thumbs up. Yeah, I done a video just yesterday, or Tuesday, Sunday. I done a video on buses at the bus restoration group that I'm a member of, but this is way off the subject. Right, let's get back on to right, so this circle, I always remember this road here. That always remember that. That's the one that leads to nowhere. That, if you could walk it, which I'm going to be doing later, that heads right down and meets up with the road that runs to Burnside of Duntroon at the Berwick Drive end. I know that road, but I don't remember this road. I remember the barriers. I remember this sort of arrangement here, but I don't remember the road being up there. I mean, it might seem odd why that would be there and I don't remember the road, but I just don't remember that. And as I say, I've driven this route many times, so let's take a walk up here and show you what's up here. So this is my day off today, and I quite enjoy getting out in the car and just going for drives and stuff and going for walks and everything. And now I've got into the video making thing, hobby. I only just started doing video making just at the beginning of lockdown back in March. I mean, prior to that I'd never dream about doing stuff like this. I did video for my own stuff, but as you probably know if you've seen my prior videos where I use old footage, the quality's not that great. I never planned on putting anything online, but so yeah, here's I mean, like, the circle's there. It's all about, I mean, it just ends, it's just a dead end. I mean, same there as well. Like I say, I don't remember this road. I do not remember. I knew about the other road that leads to down that way towards Whitfield, but this is the same age. I don't remember this. It just doesn't. it just comes to a circle. That's it. That's what the path's here is, with a lamp post and everything. It comes to this circle, and there's the roads that spur off. It just leads to a field. I mean, what? It's all been marked out and everything. It's all got curbs and they spent, well, I would say thousands of pounds to develop this. There's our bus. If you haven't gathered already, I'm a bit of a bus spotter. So, yeah, I restore old buses as well. Go to rallies or help to restore old buses. I definitely don't miss. I really enjoy going on the rallies on them, but I'll stay focused on what I'm here for. I'll keep this video. So yeah, it just seems to end here. Why that is, I mean, I just don't get it. All this money spent, all this effort building all this, and it ends up like this. Just a mess, vandalised, serving no purpose. The road that leads to nowhere. And also never existed in my memories before until just last week when I looked at my road map. Right, I'm going to pause this for a moment and I'll pick up with you later. Right. Hi, yeah, just turning the camera around. I had to stop for a moment. Yeah, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to walk back to the main circle, and then I'm going to walk down the road that leads to the side road that joins Burnside of Dundee with Berwick Drive. So basically heading towards the Whitfield area. Excuse that rattling, that's just the lens cam. So yeah, behind me, that's where I've just walked to. I've just basically just been down there, so I'm just heading back to the circle. And take you on a walk down the other road. So I'm just trying out this selfie stick again. I just started doing videos in the last couple of months. I've not mastered all the techniques yet, so excuse the camera, I'm wandering a bit. I don't know about the wind, I'm just hoping that kind of doesn't come, because I've been playing my videos back on surround sound and the wind is a bit of a problem. It makes a heck of a rumbling sound, but anyway. Right, so this is just a bit back to the circle, so I'll barrel this round again and start following. Right, that's his. So yeah, just a quick recap. That's the road I just walked up, and now I'm just about to head down this road here. So I'll try and keep this running the whole length of the walk. Keep an eye on the bars for the battery, because that's quite a nice walk actually on a nice day like this. Quite refreshing. A road, absolutely no traffic, straight road, sort of semi in the countryside, semi-urban, or that's Fintry just. That's where I used to stay. I mean, since I was born till I was 5, I stayed at Cheviot Crescent. I don't know, because you won't be able to see very clearly, but 24 Cheviot Crescent, the block has been bulldozed down. Well, that was bulldozed back in 1995. Cheviot Crescent had tenements on both sides, but now the tenements that are surviving on the south side of the road have been, there's a few of them, and they've been kind of like refaced. But where my old block used to stand, there's new houses built on it. But yeah, it was Cheviot Crescent, right on the outskirts of Dundee, and of course Whitfield's just a stone throw. A stone throw away from it, just at the other side of Berwick Drive. That's some sort of castle. I don't know the history, but there's a ruined castle there. I hope you can see that alright, but it's kind of like the what's it called again? Powery Monument or something up that way. Oh, I can't remember. There's a monument, something to do with the war anyway. Well, the name will come to me later. It'll bug me now. Berry Bray Monument or something. I'm sure somebody will stick a comment on me the right answer. As I say, the videos I've just didn't have time to edit them, so I'm just putting them online just as they are basically, and get the videos out online for you to see. I just didn't have the time at the moment to make the documentary type videos, because it takes a lot of, just takes time. So yeah, this is the road to nowhere. So, I mean, they've got lampposts and everything. I spent all this money on this road. Just, it's been like this for years. There's a pavement just up there that runs part of the way up. I'm maybe going to have to point the camera away. There's that's the castle up there. That's some sort of water waterworks or something up there. Yeah, it's a nice nice day for a walk and that. Yeah. It's obviously quite popular for the nearby locals. It's just some sort of power box. This is pavement that was on a bit earlier. It's obviously isolated. I mean, there will be power in that now, but you would never ever touch that, just in case. That really should be shut. It should be shut. Do the 30 volt. But there's no power in it, but you never ever assume there isn't. You just It's like this as well. I mean, these wires are just exposed. That'd be lethal if there was power in that. For the PC, it just didn't go near that, eh? I didn't even think about touching that. Yeah, I got that drummed into me from my dad. He's an electrician, a very good one at that as well. He's been in the trade. That trade that was what he trained up in all his life. Very good electrician. In fact, beyond that as well, safety engineer and everything, as well as working on mechanical stuff and all that. So I got that drummed into me at a very young age. Kind of rubbed off on me as well. I like all that kind of stuff. But this road here, as I was saying, just makes a nice walk, and that's Cheviot Crescent just up there. But nice to, in fact, let's just see if I can point up where my old block was. There, so where that building is, that's new. That's roughly where 24 Cheviot Crescent used to stay, where it used to be, the block. The other tenements to the left of that, these tenements there are the originals, but they've been refaced. Well, that's the wind picking up, so I don't hope that doesn't cause any problems with the sound. But Cheviot Crescent used to be called something else. Finn something. Finn. Somebody in the comments will correct me on that one. The same with Grampian Gardens, that was called, was it Finn Craig or something, or something like that. Most of the roads in Finn have got this sort of Finn to start at. Finn something, but Finn Dowry maybe. I can't remember off the top of my head at the moment, but so 8 minutes, it's 16 minutes so far. Just checking the time this has been running for. But yeah, the Mandela effect is quite something like. I mean, it's just no marking it up or anything. It's straight up when I say it, that I genuinely believe that there's. I don't, as I say, call it the Mandela effect. I believe in the phenomena because I've experienced what they call the Mandela effect. I experienced that firsthand with quite a lot of things. But if you are interested, do research on it. I mean, in saying going online, okay, online's one thing, but you'll get the principle of what I'm trying to explain. Test your own memory on it. I mean, there's tons of examples online. The spelling of Volkswagen's one for me anyway. I was always had a note at the end. It was Volkswagen. It was VOLKWAGON. But now if you look, it's got EN at the end of it. Now, I'm not great at spelling, but I do remember it was always an ON at the end of it. Wagon. Volkswagen. But now, you look back, well, you look at anybody, you'll see that it's got an E at the end of it. Wagon. Now, I've got a collection of car books and that. I like reading up on them. I've had this book for years, well, decades. I mean, for the early 90s. So, and it's never left the house. And I got, as soon as I saw this spelling of Volkswagen changed, I got that book out and had a look at it, and sure enough it changed on that as well. I don't mean changed that somebody's took it out of the house and changed it, I mean and on about the history's actually changed. Now, it's a lot to take in. You're probably just thinking that unless you've understood, I mean, if you understand it, then you know where I'm coming from. If you don't understand it and you're interested, then research into it. Go online and, well, that's just a fine example with I mean, online's one thing, it's second-hand information, but go online if you want and get see what it says about it, get more research on it. Anyway, here I am at the end of this road, circle, all this, all these, it just seems to end here. I mean, I just don't get that, all this money spent. Why did they not just simply open this road up and get it joined to the Berwick Drive and get the use out of it? I mean, oh, there's one of the buses there. That's the route I regularly do, the Whitfield 17s, 15, 17. You'll see the scarring block, that there is the original scarring blocks. Whitfield had loads of scarring blocks. But what they've done in the late 80s, early 90s, they started to reface them. And they were originally flat roofed blocks. But what they've done is they've put kind of like the roof on them, the domed pointed roofs on them, just to give it a kind of, take away the flatness, the blandness of the look, because they looked pretty, well, a lot of people didn't like them, so they refaced them. I thought they were really fascinating, so I've got loads of pictures of them throughout the 90s. I used to come up here on the Sunday walks in the early 90s, 1991. Done photographed quite a few of them. I went in the old derelict houses and everything. Me and my mates did actually. We came up here on Sundays, some of them. It's quite amazing. Right, so where am I now? That's the end of the road. So what I'm just going to show you is just how close it is to the main drive, Berwick Drive. Oh, that's back here. See if we get it again. As I say, it makes a really nice walk. It's a good walk, but I just don't get the logic. I don't get it. How do they not just have this road to simply continue on to meet the main road? I mean, they've got all this. They got all this distance to here, and then just stopped. How don't they just finish it off? Just. And there we are with it, Berwick Drive. I mean, it's just there. Gosh, I could have just surely finished it off to get to here. I mean, that road's just sitting doing nothing. But anyway, this was actually a suggestion. As I say, what brought me here was just a mega coincidence that I was up here a week prior to that for the Mandela effect for that road, and I got suggestions for to do a video for the dead end road. So that's the sweeping bend at the bottom of Berwick Drive. When I was a kid, when I was about 4-year-old, I could remember. We used to walk up there with my dad, my mum as well. We used to come into Whitfield, but we used to walk to Fintry Mains where my granda was. My dad had a car as well, but he was working at the times, so sometimes it was just me and my mum. We took the buses. Sometimes the car wasn't available, so we done a bit of walking and that. And I remember walking up, I remember seeing the old buses, the old Dundee buses, going up and down that road. Excuse me a minute. Yeah, so that's basically the Berwick Drive. This road here heads to Burns side of Dundee. Yeah, just heads up this way. I mean, I could give you a list as long as this road about the Mandela effects and personal ones. I can maybe save that for another video, but while in here there is another Mandela effect, might as well just mention it, saying in here, it's to do with the ponds on the right hand side here. You might not be able to see it very well. So that's the way, that leads back to that road, by the way. But right, here we are. This reservoir or pond just there. See, I don't remember there ever being any ponds there. I remember there was this woodland stuff, this midland, or this woodland Middleton Wood thing is fairly, well, it was sort of early 2000s I think they'd done that, but I was aware of that, but I do not remember any, I don't remember any ponds ever being there. I just happened to see on my map that there was ponds there, so I couldn't believe it, so I came up in the car and had a look, and they were there. Like I say, I know this area. I've been up here before, quite a lot. I just didn't remember that. Don't remember ever being ponds here. But that's a nice walk up that road. If you go to Burnside of Tune, you could go right up there. You can actually walk right the way around. You turn right when you get there. Continue on past the golf courses and everything. It comes out down at Balumby. So, heading back to the dead end road, like I was saying, that other route was just a wee trail that goes back to the dead end road. The other trail came out to Berwick Drive, and this road here, this trail just leads back to the road that leads to nowhere. So, walk back. Yeah, I'm a believer in what they call the supernatural. It's I don't know what it is, how to word it, but like we're all consciousness, so expansion of consciousness. When there's your fancy names for it, supernatural, paranormal, whatever. You could call it really anything that you want. In whatever language, or whatever religion, or whatever. I'm not religious as such, but I do believe in the there's more to life than what we've been taught. A lot more, because as I say, I'm not just making it up. I've actually experienced it firsthand, so I do know what I'm on about. I'm not just marking this up and putting this on for you know, just to be heard. I really seriously mean it. I've experienced it. I mean, religion's one thing. I don't follow religions. I'm not saying anything that's not true or anything like that. No, I just don't follow any. You know, but I do believe in that the supernatural, as they call it. And as soon as you say supernatural, some people may just, you know, box it right there and then. You know, and others they just don't want to hear. They just say, oh, supernatural. You know, dismiss it right and then without even wanting to listen further. And that's usually where it ends. But I've really experienced it firsthand. Yeah, so there we go. There's the, I hope the viewers and that will, I mean, I got a suggestion to do a video for this, so, but it was, as I say, it was just unbelievably amazing. The coincidence was just incredible, because I was up here a week before I got that suggestion, and I would never have come in the car, that is, to video this area. But when, you know, it was, the Mandela effect was the reason I came here, and in just a week, just a day ago, I got then that's when I found these messages. The
suggestions, which was here. I mean, and so I've come back here again. That's twice in the one within 7 days, isn't it? So I've never driven my car here for any reason really that I could remember. I mean, I've been in this area for walks just occasionally, but over the years, but not in depth like this. So the coincidence is just more than remarkable. Synchronicity is more like would be more like it. You know, it's just too big a coincidence. Synchronicity meaning that is a reason for everything. It's just incredible. I mean, like I say, I would never have come here in my car and spent time like this. I did this last week for that reason, Mandela effect, and I get a couple of messages, suggestions to come here of all places, and it was related to a video that didn't have any bearing on this particular road as such. So, it's just, I mean, I've had lots and lots of these coincidences, if you want to call it that. Synchronicity, which is another fancy name you could call it, but whatever. It's just more than it's more than a coincidence. There's tons of stuff that's quite strange, bizarre. I mean, I've made videos about strange trees, fences. Maybe if you look on my YouTube channels, if you look back on my YouTube channel and look at the earlier videos that I've posted up, I've put quite a few up about lots of strange anomalies in and around Dundee. But I mean, the anomalies just don't happen in and around Dundee. They happen, I guess, they happen everywhere. It's just that I filmed the ones that I filmed are within the Dundee area. I never thought I'd see the day I'd be walking up this road with a camcorder and making a video like this and just sort of rattling on, which is good, because I like to share this stuff out with the viewers, not those that want to see it. You can make what you will of it, really, but I just want to stick it online and get it out there so you can see it. Got my new toy here, my camcorder. I've bought it, so I might as well use it. As I say, I started doing videos on YouTube, just Facebook and YouTube, just at the start of lockdown. I had nothing else to do, so I don't have that time, so I said, okay, well, I've watched loads of other stuff on videos online, and I just said, well, we're going to be stuck in the house for hours, so I may as well just set up the account. It was actually the buses that got me in it, because I had to join a Facebook group to get access to a lot of the old vintage buses that are online, and I wouldn't get that otherwise unless I joined Facebook. So I done that, and I was able to access tons of photos and videos of the old buses. And so yeah, from that point on, I just said, well, come on, I'm just going to stick my own videos up as well. So it's quite good fun. It's something to do, is it? All I've done is just rattle it there, and I'm just going to keep this quiet for a minute and let you soak up the sound of the birds in the background. Just the wildlife, it's the birds in the field there. There's maybe not very much happening in this video, but you could probably hear me more than I'll just go out for a walk in a blether we use. Day off, is it? Keep fit. What was that, 10 minutes? Yeah, there's lots of unusual anomalies in the sky as well. Well, pictures and everything for 2 years ago. There was a lot of, well, still is to this day actually, but I just came across it more intensely 2 years ago. It's to do with the sun, all the different colours that it's producing, and the positioning in the sky as well. At night, the sun here is supposed to set in the west, right? But I was up in Lochal a few occasions, quite a few actually, and I've noticed that the sun, there was like a glow in the east where the sun rises, and this, bear in mind, is in the evening when the sun was setting. So again, if you go online, you could do research on that. Right, excuse me a minute, I'm just going to... Yeah, I'm trying to get this thing set up. You can see a bit of a line here, look, with the sun ray. This is just another... I mean, there's quite a lot of strange phenomena, lots of them. But this year, I mean, this, I'm talking about, I've never ever remembered seeing this stuff before. This is fairly recent, within the last, what, 4 years. I've come across this quite a lot more intensely. I was always aware there was the supernatural, well, all the time basically, but it's been much more intense in the last 4 years. But the ray of the sun, the way the light is angled, it's just different. The sun rays come at different angles at times. It's difficult to describe, but it's like there's a second light source. The light rays are at different angles. You're getting these unusual colours as well, like rainbow colours. It's just like a rainbow without the bow. There's been quite a lot of that. There's lots of very unusual weather phenomena as well. Temperature changes, you know, from very small distances apart. It's like micro weathers. I'll save this for another video actually, because it's a big subject. But if you want to research, just if you go online, there'd be somewhere you could access information that's out there online about well, sun. There's like, oh, I'm trying to think now. Lots of stuff online. Like Skywatch is one of them, I think. One of them. Skywatchers. Skywatchers is one of them. So I'm not going to name any out just like that until I've thought about it. I've thought about what, and I'm not just going to name stuff and put it online without just making sure that. So, but yeah, just go on, just type in Skywatchers. That's one I could safely say there. Skywatchers, and I mean, you type in what you like. Just type something in online that, if you see something odd, like the way the sun is and that, you know, just ask. I mean, I can see stuff strange just now. I mean, getting that there, like, it's coming down. You've got this line here, and anyway, coming way off the subject about the road. But it was kind of part and parcel anyway, because I wouldn't have been here if it wasn't for the Mandela effect last week, and for the suggestions of synchronicity of that being suggested to come here. That's just back in the car. Right, I'll stick this off for a minute.
Right, this is back in my car now. I just switched off the other camera and I've done my walk. In fact, I'll get back out and get some photographs for the slide show that I always normally stick on the video. There's usually got a slideshow, so I'll jump back out and I'll walk back, because I couldn't do them both at once, so I'll go and do it again. I'll get the pictures on the camera here on this phone one, and I'll put that on the video as well. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Basically, this video wasn't really much. You were just really listening to me, just blabbing on like, yeah, which is fair enough, because I've got stuff that I like to share with you. Yeah, I like to tell you what I'm thinking about, so I'm just gonna bang it out there and put it on the video. But yeah, it's quite a lot of subjects I was on about. But really, I wouldn't have been here. I came here today for, well, there's two reasons, like I was on about earlier, the Mandela effect, the road, and the mega coincidence of getting the suggestions to come here on a video that wasn't directly related to this area. So synchronicity and coincidences are, some people could just dismiss them as coincidence and that's it. It's like the Mandela effect, as they call it. People could just easily dismiss it as false memory. But when you've experienced it firsthand, you know what's false memory, what's real, and what isn't it. You know within yourself. You can feel what's right and what, unless you've experienced it. I mean, it's easily just to be dismissed and just forgotten about it. But slightly different video. I kept the thing rolling all the way. I basically filmed all the walk. Sometimes I just stop it and I just done a lot, and I'll just try this method out and see what you think. I've seen videos like that, so I thought, I'll do one like that. But no, seriously, yeah, if you are interested in the Mandela effect, or the phenomena of it, then type it in online, do research on it, test your own memory out and see what you think. For the strange anomalies in the sky and that, there's like websites that, Skywatchers was one of them, I think. So people were videoing strange anomalies. Like there was a video with two suns. Now it's easy to say, oh, that's fake, it's easy to say that, but if you didn't video it and you weren't there, you can't just sort of dismiss it just like that. You've got to think, well, and I've seen strange stuff in the sky firsthand. And I believe that I think all of us have at some point, but we've probably just put it in the back of our mind and forgot about it, because we're just being constantly bombarded with everyday life, and the stuff we do every day but distracts us from what's, the important things, like, about life, how we became here, how we got here, and important stuff, But the everyday mundane stuff kind of distract us, diverts our attention away from that, and we're caught up in all the current situation and the stuff that's going on. Well, I'm not saying that isn't important as well, but the other stuff is equally as important. It's all important. So you can make what you like of this video. It's just, I've got an open mind, I really do. So, but yeah, the roads that lead to nowhere, I've done that now. Why they spent all that money on building that road and getting it just a stone throw away from the end and then just leaving it there. It's been like that for years. And as for the other road, the one I don't remember, that's the same. I mean, you saw when I went up there that en route to that circle there was roads that branched off. It's dead ends. The lamp posts and everything, it was all marked out. And what was all that about? But in the pensions office as well, I was always referred to as the pensions office. and it's got marked there, social offices. It's not really got pensions office on it, but yet it's still referred to as a pensions office in certain areas. Like in the bus shelter, it's still got a pensions office. On the bus driver running boards that we follow for our running times, it's got Jack Martin with pension office. It's never referred to as the Cleverhouse social work offices. It's never referred to that. So I just no. Anyway, I'm going to end the video just now and get this all joined up and compiled and put it out there for you. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Got comments or anything that could shed some light on, or any ideas, suggestions and that for all of us, not just for me, for all that are interested, to read them and, you know, just to share opinions and stuff. Yeah, but I'm a believer in the supernatural. Like, there's no, I never doubted it anyway, but I could go on about it for hours, because I could show you loads of examples, but I'm not going to on this do that for another video. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it, and see you next time. Thanks. Hello and back again. I thought what I'd done basically was I was out Earlier on I done the video for the road that leads to nowhere. And that was earlier. Now it's raining, bucketing, thunder and lightning. And I was just out for a drive and at the other end of the city and up near the where King's Seat is. That's really it at this very moment in time at the Tilly Bucket car park. Now, I done videos on my phone here for my own records. But what I've decided to do was put it online anyway. So you'll hear me saying on the videos that this isn't going online. It's going online because I just thought, well, I've already went on about how I feel about the supernatural stuff and that. I'm a believer in it. Like I say, I'm not religious. I don't have a problem with religion, and I haven't got anything against religions or anything like that. I don't disbelieve them or anything like that. I'm just not religious. Well, religious as you would call religion, as in the Bible and all that stuff. I don't have a clue about that. I'm not really. I don't think I need to. But anyway, it's another issue. But because I was on about that stuff earlier, I thought, well, because I always have been into that kind of stuff anyway. And I took this video from my own records and I thought, well, it's getting dark now. It's too late to go back on the video, so I'm just going to join them up and put them on this video. So this video here is piggybacked on to the video that I made earlier about the road that leads to nowhere. So this is just like it's an additional video. It's basically, I wasn't intending on doing this, but I thought about it driving up here, and I said, I'm going to share this out online. It's about the strange colours in the sky, the tree that's got absolutely no bark on it whatsoever. I called the hill the Bear Grylls Hill. That's just, I nicknamed that hill that for myself. So just ignore it. Disregard that. That hill is basically the hill that's north of King's Seat. It's kind of got a flat, kind of platoon. Can't remember the name, but the top that levels the plateau, I think it's called. That's kind of relatively flat. The Bear Grylls, I know. King's Seat is south of that hill. So, as I say, it's bucketing the rain now. It's too late to go back to video officially for online. So I hope you understand what I've tried to explain in it. It's quite unusual. Well, for me, it's just bizarre, totally. And I hope you find it interesting. So, like I say, I'll just piggyback this video onto the main video that I done earlier. And hope you enjoy it. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Bye. Yeah, just at that Billow car park. This isn't for online. This is just one video. It's not been. That's the hill called the Bear Grylls Hill. There. That's the road that leads down to This is going up towards Abernnight. King's Seat Hill there, the Bear Grylls Hill as I call it. Now the video here, this is from my own documents. This tree here is completely stripped of all bark. Completely. It's, totally stripped. Very unusual, what? I've been here before and I don't remember. That would have caught my eye. I would have probably noticed that, commented on that before if I'd saw it. But not a bit of bark on it. It's completely stripped. Not a leaf or anything, just. So, I don't know what's going on there. Another thing, well, in here, that's the car park. Barlow car park. There's this very unusual, I don't know what's happened, but it looks as though it's been fenced off anyway, but this hole appeared in the field. This hole appeared. Don't know what's down there, I haven't gone in, but it looks as though it's been fenced and stuff. Unusual, because that I wonder. Yeah, very odd. Strange. Okay. It's just from my own records. Yeah, I got the camera back out again. This is just from my own records. The colours in the sky are just incredible. Blue, pink, grey and everything. It's just, oh, totally nuts. But going back to this tree again, this is completely stripped. Very smooth. Smooth all the way up. Not one bit of bark on it. And the tree itself just looks bizarre anyway. But yeah, look at the colours there, look at that. It's just absolutely floaty. Man, quite spectacular, like, very spectacular. Oh, didn't want to flag the cows, but yeah, look at that. Quite surreal. This is at the Tillybacker car park. Just a red patch out of nowhere. Sun's supposed to be setting away down there. Red there. Blue sky. Quite a lot of that. It's just for old records, this. Very bizarre. Just recording all these strange marks appearing in the clouds. Dot there, dot there. It's very unusual formations. No sooner do these formations arrive, no sooner do they arrive, they're gone. They just appear and disappear. There's even all these straight lines and shapes, and bright patches of light and everything, and it's just uneven. I mean, the sun's meant to be setting. It's meant to be like, it's meant to be universally lit, but it's not. It's so patchy lit. So lit up in areas and dark in certain areas and shadows. It's not uniform. The light's not uniformly spread over it.